Welcome, everybody, to the Feedback Damage Podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Mitch.
And I'm Jared.
And I'm Paul.
And finally, Jeff.
Hey,
Jeff. Howdy.
Hello.
How we doing?
How are we doing?
Guys,
Doing great.
Before we get into anything else, I've literally prepared a statement. This is formal. I even signed it.
Letterhead.
We can put this, even says memorandum at the top. We'll put it on the website.
Sign that baby in.
So, before I get into it, we have to get through the legalese. Item 1, henceforth Justice League refers to members associated with the Justice League Team Dial and Justice League Team Dial figure. Number 2, item 2, henceforth Mitch, I, we, our, and us shall collectively refer to Mitch of the Feedback Damage Podcast. And item 3, henceforth you and your shall collectively refer to the individual or entity which is participating in the consumption of this podcast.
Somebody has a word of the day calendar.
Yeah.
Legalese.
Alright, I'm going to get into it. My friends, co-hosts, listeners, trolls of the internet, it is with a heavy heart that I must report a grave lapse in judgment in my assessment of the Justice League Team Dial. I learned something about myself in recent weeks. I now understand that my ability to learn is processed through action. I must do to understand. In recent episodes, you heard me refer to the Justice League in terms of, and I quote, not that bad. Simply put, I was wrong. The Justice League is that bad. It's worse than that bad. Having played and won a tournament in record time with the Justice League, it's worse than I ever could have imagined. Allow me to join the chorus of those requesting errata, change, balance, and yes, justice. In closing, I am sorry. P.S. Cop cars can still suck it. Mitch of the Feedback Damage Podcast, Esquire.
Very nice.
Well,
Nice.
thank you for that, sir.
No, thank you. Thank you for hopefully accepting me back into the fold. Your apologies. Your forgiveness is what I seek.
So the explanation of this is at our local comic shop venue. We had our month 6. Well, it was actually just a tournament for the Batcave. It was a 300-point constructed.
They told me to be meta.
They said, come in and play to win. So Mitch brought the Justice League team base and then went through and mopped up absolutely every person for the entire game.
I promise I didn't know. Like I said in my statement, I can read something, but until I actually do it, I don't really understand it.
So what were the moves that you did most of the time? Was it just nothing but running shot, shoot, running
Well,
shot, shoot?
yeah, I mean, on that first click, you have running shot, you have super strength, you have sharpshooter.
You can see through hindering.
You can see through hindering, you can hide in hindering, which I did a couple times, thanks to the garden. And you have, and you're not required to roll off this. You never have to. The very first click on the asset dial is Cyborg and Aquaman. Cyborg says you get sharpshooter, and Aquaman says
Sharpshooter and +2 range.
+2 range. That's huge. And Aquaman says you ignore shape change and super senses. So what do you do at this point? I mean, you really can't do much.
You have penetrating psychic blast on the front dial?
No,
Do you remember? Okay.
you have super strength.
Okay. So the only thing that you have any quote unquote trouble with
Right.
is any kind of damage reducer.
Well, if you play it right, you
Impervious.
move your running shot, base them, or you could, since you have sharpshooter, you can running shot into them, and then you have super strength in your close combat action, you could actually smash them with the heavy object.
Yeah.
And you have a 4 base damage with perplex.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You still gotta avoid the impervious rolls. I mean, if they're rolling 5 and 6 for impervious.
Right. Which, basically, you have to use your judgment at that point. You can, since you don't have to, like, declare all these things at once, you move, you shoot, then you go, hey, maybe I want to charge backwards, or whatever, you know?
So
Or running shot, as it
was
would be.
what is the power called? Working together?
Working together, which I think is, if you look on HC Realms right now, you're going to see that everybody is pretty much talking about that, and they are talking errata. I don't know. I mean, it's gone on for weeks. So there has to be somebody somewhere that's doing something. The problem is with working together, if you make it 2 actions, it's multi-attack.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what. Maybe the fix is to take out the move action. Maybe that's it.
Or take out the power action. Well, you can't really take out a power action.
Yeah, it's a
but-
power action to activate those 3 actions.
Well, no, you give them a
Right.
power action to activate the next 3, but
Yeah.
one is included as a power action.
Right.
So if they limit that, but then charge and running shot,
I think
then go out the window.
I think taking out the move action is probably the best thing they could do.
When you
Mhm.
base an opponent, can
Yeah.
you shoot someone else?
No.
Because I know normally you can. I didn't know if they had a special power
Right.
that
No.
allowed you to do that. Okay.
No.
They
You
could-
get sharpshooter, but
They could make it a double power action. Has that been
they
discussed?
could, but that might be, as weird as it sounds, that might be a little too going the other way. I honestly think if you take out the move action, they're not. I know I said it before, but bear with me. I think if you think about that for a little while, it's not as bad because either you move or you attack.
Right.
You know.
I don't know. I kind of like that giving it a double power action because then you give them double power action to make 4 shots.
The reason that they had working together as a power in the first place is that you're essentially playing, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 600 points, whatever it is, you are essentially playing one figure. So you will always be outmoved. Everybody will always have more actions to do than you, except for the 300 point thing is, I think, the big deal.
Mhm.
That it's 300 points, and you're doing so much damage and so much power.
Right.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Because otherwise, you can make a team at 300 points that does 3 different actions, or 400 point team that does 4 different actions.
Yeah.
So they're keeping the same amount of actions.
But I mean, still, those are the teams that you make that you put together. Not every figure has running shot, 12 attack,
Right,
4
for
damage
4
with
damage.
perplex.
Mhm.
You know, that's basically what this figure is doing. Is you're doing that on every single turn,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's a little overpowered.
The thing about it is it greatly takes down the time of the game, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it.
Well, it really takes out the strategy of the game. At this point,
It does.
you're just doing a bunch of running shots.
Right.
I mean, what is
No.
that? What kind of fun is that?
Right. The thing we haven't really done yet is team base versus team base.
Right. Yeah, we
But,
need to do that. We should do that Wednesday.
Yeah, we can try it out.
Yeah, I'd like to
yeah.
see how that would work.
I would too.
So stupid busted otherwise.
Just dice rolling.
Yeah, which give your thoughts. I played Jeff in that tournament, and his game was the one where I had to think the most. Because I lost map roll. Now you might ask, how do you do that when you have +7 your map roll? Crit miss. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I held my own for as long as I could.
What'd you play?
Yeah.
I had Omen, a couple of charge flurries.
Deathstroke?
No. Back row for No Man's Land.
Mm-hmm.
55 point Rose Wilson, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
And Lady Shiva.
Yeah.
Charge flurry everywhere.
Yeah. All over.
Yeah, that's what it
But the
was.
problem was, I was confined in a room, and you were confined in a room.
You picked a good map though. Tell them which one.
Was it one of the No Man's Land maps?
I think it was
The
Grid
prison?
Reality.
Oh no, it was Grid Reality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one with like the prison.
Blocking terrain everywhere.
Yeah, rooms everywhere.
Yeah.
Rooms
That's
everywhere.
good.
At first I thought I was in a lot of trouble until I realized I could drill all the way from one side of the map to the other by just
Yeah,
blowing
walls
up walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it in one action.
Yeah, one power action working
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
for 4 range combat action, or 4 range combat
It was
attacks.
a close, and then a
Well, you can trade your close combat action, your range combat action, your power action, or
Yes.
your move action for just vanilla range
Vanilla
combat
attacks.
attacks.
right. I think
As long as they have over 3 damage, you're
Yeah.
fine.
yeah. I went
Yeah.
from one side. I moved in, or no, I running shot into one of the cells, and
Mhm.
then range.
Range.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Yeah.
remember the match perfectly.
Yeah. And I was like, well, okay, that happened. And yeah,
There was not much I could do.
yeah, you
Bide,
did.
bide my time.
Omen definitely made me think though, because that's something that could be very major against the Justice League.
The -2 perplex, I mean, that's with no line of fire. That's what was
Well,
saving me the longest.
Yeah, but I was most scared of the mind control. Because you pop off figures off my base, then what?
Right.
Then they become, I believe right now, part of your force.
Until they've come up with some sort of solution to it. After you mind control a team base and pop somebody off, they are friendly to the mind controller's team for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
Right.
Until that gets fixed.
Right.
Yes.
For now.
That is as it is now, before the errata comes, because we all know it will. I mean,
Yeah.
Something's going to change there.
Yeah.
It has to.
It was the same thing with vehicles. They had to errata something right away too. I think it was something similar with the pilot. Ejecting a pilot of an autopilot or of a piloted vehicle made them friendly or something else.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But I don't play vehicles, so.
Yeah. Very seldom.
Well, they never errated. You can still mind control a figure and put them in your vehicle.
Yes, that's my favorite trick.
Until that gets fixed, probably too.
I don't know if they can.
I don't know.
It's kind of like capture.
It's
It
pretty
really
much,
is.
yeah.
That was my favorite thing against tentpole figs is somebody played a 300 point giant dangerous figure. Well, you mind control him. You throw them into your
bat cycle.
30 point piloted motorcycle, and then until you give them the power action, they don't come out, which means they're gone. They have no team, and you win.
But you can't.
Cheap way to win, but hey.
You can't put team bases on vehicles.
No.
They cannot pilot.
Yeah, they can't pilot vehicles.
Because
They can be carried by?
You can carry Galactus in a vehicle. Like, you can carry multi-base figures and Colossals. So I don't know exactly what the wording is, because I don't play vehicles either. So
I see a lot of the bat cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty dangerous.
Not at our venue, though, really.
Oh,
when it first came out, I saw it a lot.
When we had those 300 point teams for the Batcave, there were two of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
really?
the builds. Yeah, one was
I must have just not played those guys.
a Alpha Strike Barda team. Barda, Wonder Woman, and the Bat Cycle.
Oh, Andrew.
With the belt, and then there's another one that was playing other Bat people, I think.
It was our friend Brett.
Oh, was he?
He had Alpha Strike Zerinara, which didn't Alpha Strike at all.
Right. Yeah.
Against the Justice League.
Zerinar is not Alpha Strike. He's got like a 6 movement or something.
Well, it was a team of the Bat Cycle, Zerinar, and Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
With the belt.
Still,
Well, Zerinar had the belt, not Arsenal.
not Alpha Strike though.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was all too happy to use the, as I always do. I was all too happy to use the Bat Cycle as an ultra heavy object on it. So
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Just gross.
Why not?
Oh man.
yeah, because they need to hit for 7 or 8, as one action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it retired? Is it just
Man, unless people ask for it, I'm not gonna roll it out. That's.
Well, thanks to you, I've now spent hours and hours trying to build a team to try and defeat it.
You're not
I
the
have
only
to.
one.
Yeah.
I've built 2 teams that I'm anxious to try.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I don't even care.
it's and that for that reason alone, that is why it's not a good piece, because you have to sit there and think you have to exert so much brain power just to figure out how to compete with it.
How to even have a slight chance with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just compete, but have even the slightest chance of lasting more than 5 rounds.
Right.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I came up with was hitting with an Alpha Strike with somebody with 4 exploit, with a super strength and an object, and perplex it up to a 7. Hit it for 7, exploit straight through.
Wait. You were saying...
It was,
wait, that's on KO. That's right.
Yeah.
What was it?
You were talking about Magog from Superman.
Mainly because of the 12 attack. There's a lot of heavy hitters that have the 4 exploit, but he's got the 12 attack, which helps.
The old school Alpha Strike with Magog was because of his trait
Yeah.
that if you kill somebody, he gets to act again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that wouldn't apply here.
No, and
Yeah.
Not
I
quite.
forgot that was the contingent
Yeah.
of his act.
So that would just hit him for 7, and then I don't know what to do after that. That would definitely cripple it a little bit.
Yeah,
That would knock him down to, I think, like a 9 attack with no damage power and maybe hypersonic and super strength, I think.
yeah,
Would knock it down.
we count 2, 4, 6, 7 in. That's 8 hypersonic, 10 attack with super strength, 17 invuln, and 4 damage.
Yeah.
It's not a happy place.
Is that 6 or 7? If I hit him for 7.
Should be on 8.
So it'd
Oh,
be
no,
click 8.
sorry. 9 attack, 3 damage.
But still an 8 hypersonic.
Right. So
That's what they
Which-
need to do is move around more.
Yeah.
Which gets worse. I mean, that is
Yeah.
taking a bit of a hit.
Yeah. It's not, then you can kind of play that maneuver game.
Yeah.
Try to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because locking them down might not be a great option for you either.
Yeah.
Well, and don't they? I think they ignore characters too.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
yeah.
Oh, they do.
There is
Oh,
no
well,
there is no locking them down.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a team base
Trade.
basic ability. Oh.
Yeah, and in the event map roll happens for you, Bizarro World does nothing but hurt you because they can exist on multiple elevations, no problem.
Yep.
With nothing to impede them whatsoever.
On some of these figures that have special traits or powers that say when they base somebody, it'll say this your opposing figure cannot automatically break away.
Mhm.
When it says that, does that include the figures that say ignores characters?
I believe the ruling is that, well, first off, when they specifically say that, that is because this was before the new PAC where plasticity does that. So that was a special case because
Right.
hypersonic, you can move to them and then move back away.
Mm-hmm.
And you ignore it from in the 2012 pack. Hypersonic speed ignored it. Leap climb ignored it. Phasing teleport ignored it. But now all those things don't.
Well, I think it's,
Phasing teleport does.
if you look at Skitter from Teen Titans, spider-looking chick, her special is called webbing. She can use plasticity. Characters can't automatically break away from Skitter. Opposing characters adjacent to Skitter can't use improved movement, ignores characters. So I guess they are two different things.
Yes.
So she's the only one that would base them,
Mhm.
and they couldn't move.
Um,
They have to break away.
But is their trait improved movement ignores characters? Or is it just,
Yes.
yeah.
They have. It's not a trait.
it's
It's a
just,
team base ability. All
Okay.
team bases have ignores elevated. No.
No,
Yeah. Ignores
yeah.
elevated and
Yeah.
ignores characters.
Yeah. Some people are saying, hey, use Leech, which is probably not a bad idea because working together is activated by a power action.
yeah.
Thing is making sure Leech can survive long enough for you to hurt them at that point.
Leech is stealthy, but that doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Superman TA.
Does he have to have line 5?
Yeah, it's a 4
Radius.
square radius, range radius. If you base Justice League and have Leech not next to them, they have Sharpshooter, but that doesn't mean they can shoot against non-adjacents when they
Right.
are based.
The thing is, yeah.
So you take somebody who can take the hit, like, I don't know, a big heavy hitter guy who can carry Leech, and then just put Leech behind them.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's doable, but again, the fact that most teams just can't deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate problem is trying to build 300 points.
Mm-hmm.
All the plans that you may have, you're probably going to lose map roll. So
Yeah.
they all go out the window.
Yeah, you can't count on map roll. Unless, again, I roll a crit miss, you roll, an 11 or something like
Right.
that. Because I'm already at 7.
But the thing is, his thing says only power actions. So you can't be giving the move or working together.
That's it.
But you can still move away.
Sure.
You can still move.
But they're burning actions, and admittedly, at that point they only have the one they can do.
Right.
So that's good.
Well, they have two actions right there.
Yeah.
One is, assuming that you're going to have another character besides Leech, because Leech by itself is not going to work.
Yeah, you have plenty of points.
You can either attack the guy who's basing you, which, no, you ignore characters for movement. Never mind.
Well, at that point, instead of doing running shots, now you're just going to move to one spot and then shoot 3 times from there.
Yeah. You can't do the power action in the first place to do the 4 actions.
No.
The 3 actions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
negate
cripples
all
them,
that.
it doesn't defeat them.
No, it's just a good strategy to try to neutralize their biggest advantage, which is a lot of attacks.
Until you can somehow deal with them.
Right.
Because Indigo has a similar power from Teen Titans with Outsiders.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Outsiders takes out the perplex, and because normally
And
you
they're
can't
super
outwit it.
strength objects.
Yeah.
Super strength.
There's that too. Though, truth be told, I can't remember if I actually did hit somebody with super strength, because, you're just, running shot
Most of the time.
is just good enough, and that's, 4 damage, and then you have another 8 to go that you can deal out on one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, that's...
Everybody's talking about that though, so we had to weigh in on that and talk about a little bit about what's going on with that, because it's kind of the topic du jour at the moment.
It is.
My opinion is still, I'm not a huge fan of team bases. I haven't seen one that I really care about, really.
Yeah, we'll see when the X-Men set comes out.
There is one coming out that I'm excited about. It's the Trinity of Sin
Oh, yeah.
con exclusive
Yeah.
That looks
team
interesting.
base. And that's just because that's a book I actually read and know the characters. It's the Phantom Stranger book,
Yeah.
which I enjoy thoroughly.
I almost wonder though if it's going to become a thing where you can play normal cliques or you can play team bases.
Yeah,
Right.
They can just face each
They
other.
have to be separate. I don't know.
Because if they're all that strong, and if you look at the others, they're not bad either.
They're just overshadowed by
Yeah.
the crazy Justice League stuff.
In a world without the Justice League, people would be really upset about those specifically too.
Earth 2?
Yeah. Right.
Comic joke.
Yeah. Rolling back a little bit, we recently, and recently I mean this weekend, had a tornado roll through. So power was out. I caught up on my comic reading. I'm behind quite a bit.
A lot.
A lot. I went through 34 issues of the Lantern books, got all the way caught up. And so I just finished Green Lantern number 20, and that's kind of an interesting topic because essentially that is the reason this is happening right now.
It is.
Green Lantern, without me reading Green Lantern Rebirth 9 years ago, I wouldn't have got back into comics without that existing. So Green Lantern 20, which that's a little bit of a misnomer, they renumbered, all that kind of stuff. That capped off the original writer Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern, and it's fantastic. It's, I think that's going to go down as one of the best runs in comics, period.
So good.
Just because, I can't think of anybody else who's had a run like that for that long, especially in modern times, and did so much with it. Because, if you look from where it was to where it is now, it's...
Well, he took a dead book and made it one of the best sellers.
Yeah. And like I said, it's if you can check it out, it's a bit of a pricey read because it's like $6 or something, like $6 or $7, which for a comic's a lot. But it's big and it's gorgeous art and just, like I said, just caps off the whole Green Lantern saga for him. All the Lantern books are getting new creative teams as of this next month. So it's a fresh start for pretty much everything.
Do you know who they are? The new guys?
Yeah. I don't know a ton about them. They're not really guys that I've followed, but I know they've done other stuff. They're not just putting guys off the street on the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool, and I'm still excited about it. But that was definitely significant to me because I was like, wow, that really. That takes me all the way back to 2004 And again, if I hadn't read that, there'd be none of this. So,
Well, yeah, that especially because
yeah,
you were who introduced me to comics, and which was again Green Lantern Rebirth.
Yeah.
Which became my absolute favorite run in comics ever. Like, that is the thing I look forward to every month when comics come out, is just the Green Lantern universe stuff. But if that wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have even gotten to HeroClix because we wouldn't have been going to the comic shop.
right?
Yeah.
So this really wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. So thank you, Jeff Johns, and all of our listeners should thank him. And yeah,
You're a good man, Jeff.
he is a saint. I've met him. He's cool. He's a really cool guy.
He's cool.
I got a sketch of Hal Jordan in the hardcover of my Green Lantern Rebirth. The original artist sketched it, Ethan Van Sciver. It's an amazing sketch.
Beautiful.
And when I finally got Jeff Johns to sign it, he opened up the book, and the way the DC hardcovers work is there's just kind of like a blank page, and that's where he did the full head sketch. And Jeff Johns opens it up and he goes, "Whoa, that's awesome." So I mean, well, you can tell when that guy, the guy who works on it all the time, day in, day out, can go, "Hey, that's cool." It was already awesome today. It kind of elevated it that much more.
Nice.
So yeah,
Cool.
It's good.
yeah. So that's what I've done this weekend. Just read a lot of comic books. That's about it, because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily our power did not go out.
Yeah.
So I got to catch up on Mass Effect, the DLC for it.
Nice.
Still trying to finish it.
Very, very nice.
So,
I had a trip to the in-laws, so most everything with gaming and clicks and comics and everything went kind of on
Out
hold.
the window.
Kind of on hold until I got back. So, yeah. Not a whole lot of news from me.
Right.
Me either.
Yeah?
Tried to play clicks during the tornado as the power went out at the comic shop, and that was the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
yeah, that would
Oh, wait. I do have one thing.
Oh.
While we were actually waiting for my sister-in-law to come in on a flight during a tornado, which is not really going to happen, let's be real.
Right.
So we were biding time, and my wife agreed to play HeroClix with me. We played a little, it was around a 100-point game, and it was her real first game, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty
Nice.
exciting.
That is exciting.
And who won?
She did. More or less legitimately.
Almost.
Well, you're supposed to let the new person win,
Well, yeah.
you know.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, she won mostly because just the figures she picked and the placement and everything was better. I played 10th anniversary Robin, 10th anniversary White Queen. She played 10th anniversary Spider-Man and 10th anniversary Captain America, who both see through stealth thanks to Wildcard. And all of my, and I had no move and attack, so.
Mm.
And I didn't want to try to delve into mind control with her.
Right.
So I just
Yeah.
skipped over that power.
Right.
But other than that, she won in rolls. I was rolling really poorly that night. So,
That's what it comes down to.
It does.
but hey, huzzah, it was a good night.
Right. Well, cool. Moving on, we've got, it seems like we were in a bit of a drought with news and releases, but that is no longer the case.
Not at all.
We are drowning in it again. We have a lot of things on the horizon, so why don't we just go around right now and talk about real quick what you're excited about. What are you digging? What are you laying awake at night thinking about using as it comes out?
Definitely excited for Fear itself.
Fear itself.
I'm just excited about the sculpts, how powerful everyone is. Ready to get my hands on the new resource style.
What do you think about
Yeah.
the shortage? It's going to be going on.
I'm
for the
not
first couple
happy
months.
about that. Yes. That could get a little tedious at the shop.
Yeah. That'll be a thing, and you know, I think you're going to see on the secondary market, at least for the first 2 months, you're going to see the prices
Everything
go through the
Go
roof.
so high.
skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I heard about this. I didn't see it myself, so I heard about this on the Realms. A full common, uncommon, rare, super rare set apparently, allegedly, went on eBay for $825.
Jeez.
man,
Sold.
Wow.
Sold.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that at all because it released before the drop.
Yeah.
So somebody's in trouble.
Should be.
Is what that means.
See, the part that I'm not so keen on is our venue has 2 different nights that we play, or 2 different events where we play.
Nights,
one was Wednesday night, and one is Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. And I am not very frequent in the Saturday afternoon one. I play on the Wednesday night one. With the shortage, we are not going to be able to have 2 kits, at least for the first month or 2, depending on how it goes. So I am probably not going to even be able to play at all for the first couple months,
Yeah.
if at all.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to see if I can beg, borrow, or steal some of the new resource stuff. And
Yeah.
Make some trades.
yeah,
For new things.
oh my.
I'm actually going off topic a little bit. I'm going to try to not get too many of the secondary market stuff right off the bat because there's so many months you're eventually going to wind up with a nice supply. And with most of them, if we follow the format, they should a lot be sealed. So it's not like it does any good to have the figures unless you just want to play them outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our
That's
venue,
true.
or the recommended event schedule says
Sealed for every
sealed
month.
for every month. Half Fear itself and half something else.
Yes.
Which I think is left up to event to event discretion and not this month is supposed to be
Right.
Fear Yourself and Spider-Man. This
Yeah.
month is supposed to be Fear Yourself and Batman.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be gross.
No more Batman.
Yeah.
Barda,
man.
man.
Don't.
Barda's still
Barda
messing
will-
up your sealed event.
Barda will get spanked. Let's just be real.
Uh,
There's enough stuff that Barda's just gonna get spanked. She might have the drop on you. She might get the first hit
Yeah,
in.
she might get the first hit.
I think she could still have a pretty big impact.
I think you could probably place yourself fair enough that she's not going to get the hit that she wants.
Yeah.
If you place in your starting area in just a way that she's not going to have access to your big hitter and she's tokened out, you have 2 turns to lay waste.
Yeah, that's going to depend on the skill of who you're facing. though.
Well,
I think somebody like an Omega Batman, if somebody pulls that, they stand a pretty good chance with a fig like that.
oh sure.
There are a few figs in there, but with Batman, you also run the risk of getting absolute uncompetitive garbage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much, not as bad as say something like Streets of Gotham, but your rare could be Lucius Fox.
Oh, Lucius.
Yeah. For as great as you are in Dark Knight, you are so terrible. So terrible in Batman.
So bad. Well, with all the Fear Itself stuff, you might need filler.
Mm-hmm.
Which Batman does have a lot of that.
There's good filler and there's bad filler.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking Lucius Fox. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
I
saying
mean-
we've seen packs of Batman that have just been awful.
Oh, just trash.
Yeah.
But Batman packs a lot of Perplex, Outwit.
Could always pull Catwoman or Selena Kyle too,
Yeah.
which would be real big against the Book of the Skull, just like we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later in the months, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
So
All
that's
right.
a factor.
Yeah.
How about you, Paul?
Well, I am looking forward to Fear itself. I mean, specifically a new Iron Fist. I mean, I'm very excited about that. Mainly with the implement of these revert clicks, it really got me thinking the combos you could do with the different Hawkeyes, the different Iron Fists, the different Black Widows, Miss Marvels, so on, reverting them to any figure with the same name. And I went through a bunch of them, and basically, I mean, the best one that I saw was the Iron Fist from the Fear itself. So basically, you revert it on click number 5 once you get there, and you give it +1 to attack and +1 to damage. And if you replace it with the common Iron Fist from Fear itself, he now has, on click 5, Charge, Exploit, with now an 11 attack and 4 damage. That is pretty lethal.
That is pretty lethal.
For a revert click. So specifically, a new Iron Fist I'm very excited for. Fear itself will be good, but the Fellowship of the Ring I never thought I'd be as excited for this as I will be, but when I saw Arwen specifically, a figure that is only 69 points and it's epic action, she can use Smoke Cloud as a free action regardless of range and line of fire. First token must be placed in any square on the edge of the map. You may place one additional hindering terrain marker per 100 points of the build total. So with the new pack rules, she's getting 6 already. So now you play a 400 point game. Now she has 10 Smoke Cloud markers that
days.
she places anywhere on the edge of the map, the first one anyway, and then go 10 out from there. And anybody that is, any opposing character that is occupying any of those markers is dealt 1 penetrating damage. So if you see that team, I mean, they have to bunch up to the middle if she's on the map, because somebody will be getting hit 10 squares from the edge of the map.
Yeah, wow, that's huge.
With 1 penetrating. So when I saw her, I started getting pretty excited for this set, and they haven't even revealed the Legolas and Aragorn, and hopefully there's some new figures.
Saruman was shown.
Yes, today.
Saruman was shown today.
Looks really good.
Yeah, the mind control, in my opinion, is getting out of hand. This whole you don't need a line of fire. First started with the mind control getting bumped up. I mean, obviously it started with Brother Voodoo, where it just got so powerful. And then Omen.
Well, any mind control where you don't take any kind of feedback damage. Where you don't take any damage from that is already going to be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the thing that kept it from being a big deal before this new pack.
Right.
But, man, with all the no line of fires and no feedback damage and no all this other junk, it's just getting really cool.
Technically, it's not feedback damage. We technically don't exist.
Feedback damage is not a verified glossary keyword thing from HeroClix or WizKids. It is just the slang term for the unavoidable damage you take when doing mind control.
We are an illegitimately termed podcast.
We're slang.
That's right. It's like ain't a word, ain't gonna use it. Y'all.
Oh.
So, Jared.
Oh, yeah, me.
What's wrestling your jimmies?
I mean, there's really no one who plays in the monthly resource events that won't be excited about Fear itself to some extent. There's a lot of cool stuff coming that I think will be really neat. One of the teams that I like playing, haven't in a long time, mind you. Haven't for a while.
No.
But Thunderbolts is always a fun keyword to play.
Oh, yes.
That and Mitchell's absolute favorite thing to play against. They have a very cool ATA that just makes them fun to play. And and there's quite a few people from this set that's going to be able to fit on that team. One being the worthy juggernaut, whatever his name is. Kurth Breaker of
Wills, not Wills.
Breaker of Walls.
Because I was like, hey, why did Kenny destroy blocking terrain? I don't understand.
When you play a Thunderbolts team, what do you choose most of the time?
Most of the time is either A, Avengers Initiative, to ignore hindering terrain for
movement and
both line of fire and movement, which was something I rediscovered. Or Mystics is always a good one. Usually bounces between those two.
Yeah, Mystics is probably the most popular.
Man, I'm gonna start working on my Legion of Superheroes team because they have the same power. I just need to
slightly different.
Slightly
ATA?
Different.
The ATAs are different because Thunderbolts is 8 points a character.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot more expensive.
It's like League of Assassins. Pretty pricey.
Yes. However, they retain any team abilities they have. Legion of Superheroes, who are all wild card, or Legion of Superheroes is wild card ability. You pay the 4-point ATA for Legion, and you get to pick a team ability instead of your wild card.
Mm.
And it's a DC team.
And it's a DC only versus,
Marvel.
yeah, Thunderbolts
Right.
is Marvel only.
So they choose
Legion is,
Superman.
Yeah.
but Mystics goes for both.
Right. Batman. That would be
You get
easy.
Batman. That's another one. There is a stealth giving one,
Marvel Knights.
Yeah,
Marvel
Marvel
Knights, but that's an
But
ATA.
it's an
ATA.
ATA.
So,
So
yeah.
I guess there is not.
DC will have, the Legion Lost ability will have that advantage
They're
of,
just Legion.
stealth.
The Legion is just not as cool as Thunderbolts.
no,
they don't have
really
as
not
much
as,
going for them.
they haven't done a lot with it since Superman,
Yeah.
and those weren't that powerful.
There's some good pieces. In there.
There's some good pieces. It's not
There's
nearly
no
as
heavy
powerful.
hitters in that though.
Not as big as the Thunderbolts.
I mean, Thunderbolts, they just have too many great pieces.
Yeah.
Well, there is one really good piece.
What?
The old Fast Forces Superman.
Oh.
I take it back.
But he loses Superman TA when he picks the Legion Lost.
This is true.
You lose every other team ability that you have, which gives Thunderbolts a little bit of the edge because you have Masters of Evil or you have wild cards.
Your
or,
first favorite. Master of Evil.
That's the icing on
On the Thunderbolts
pile
cake.
of turds.
So besides Fear itself, the Wolverine and the X-Men is the thing that I'm looking forward to the most because, that the first real cartoon that I watched a whole lot of that got me into comics was the X-Men cartoon. The wonderful, wonderful X-Men cartoon. Watching it now, I kind of realize, wow, that wasn't all that awesome.
Batman the Animated Series is so much better.
It was, but
So much
still,
better.
that was the one I woke up
Right.
to on Saturday mornings with my bowl of Lucky Charms or Cocoa Puffs and sat in front of the TV at 6 a.m. so I can watch it.
Right.
So,
It was on I remember. It was on at 10.
okay, whatever. But that was my first real experience of superheroes and everything, and that it's going off of a lot of that era X-Men is what is exciting to me. So I'm going to be familiar with a lot of the characters and everything else.
Yeah, I know a lot of the characters from that era. Because that a lot of the stuff they picked to represent is when I was reading comics in the 90s and 80s. So I know a lot of it. I'm not all that pumped about it. I'm gonna buy it in sealed and maybe a booster here and there, but not like I did with Teen Titans where I buy a case.
Not a full set collector.
Right. I didn't even plan on getting a full set of Teen Titans. It just kind of happened.
It just fell into your lap.
Yeah. Which I don't have a full set. That's pretty close.
You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm missing 2 chases and that's it.
Ugh.
And a couple primes.
No problem.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to go with Fellowship as well. Unless I can say Man of Steel.
You can.
I'm gonna say Man of Steel.
I was thinking that or Iron Maiden.
Well, Iron Maiden's out.
So is Man of Steel. Isn't it?
The Gravity.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, if you go to your local Target, it may or may not be out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't sure if all of it was or not.
Yeah, we weren't really sure what the street date is on that, but
Yeah. Well, the starter pack comes out on this Wednesday.
yeah.
Okay, so
It's usually released the same day.
usually.
So
But
I would assume
I think
Wednesday.
I think your local retailer may have dropped the ball
Yeah, it's been out.
Because of
The mass market.
because of the Iron Man fiasco.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Man of Steel, the movie looks great. I've talked about that a little bit. I'm gonna have tickets to the midnight show. For sure. Any of you guys want to come with me, let me know. We'll get tickets.
I think I'll be going to the 9 o'clock show.
Oh,
I did that on Iron Man.
9 o'clock?
Believe it
Not
or not,
midnight?
Believe it or not, they now do 9 o'clock shows on
Really?
Thursday night. Yes.
I might have to check into that.
It's getting like Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black
lining-
Friday starts on
lining up-
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
start lining
exactly.
up Wednesday.
That's
after work.
fine though. I'll take the
Yep.
9 o'clock if that's what they want to do, I mean, I don't have to have the next day off work,
It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm interested in it. I don't know if it's anything like Dark Knight was, where the dials are all insane. but I'll still check it out.
Well, this starter will have the new pink powers for the first time.
Everybody's super jazzed about getting that piece of paper.
Yes.
That has the rules on it.
Yep.
Which, rightly so, because there's a lot of stuff. That's a good segue into one of our other topics. But before we get into that, Iron Maiden came out. You guys don't care too much.
I couldn't care less. I'm sorry. Iron Maiden is just not my bag of stuff.
Me either.
And, I mean, I know there's some cool stuff in it, and it's a real nod to the fans, and I appreciate that. I just have no reason or interest in it.
How long have you been a fan of it? When did you get interested in
Iron Maiden? I mean, I listened to it I've been kind of a metal guy for a long time, so Iron Maiden, it took me a little longer to get into them. I listened to like hair bands, cause that was the era, and then as time has went on, I've kind of developed a harder edge. I don't like the growly Cookie Monster type stuff. Iron Maiden's great, man. That was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. The guy who fronts Iron Maiden, his name is Bruce Dickinson. That's a man of many talents. I mean, he fronts Iron Maiden. He is a world-class fencer. He's a pilot. And he also writes children's books. I mean, this guy's a renaissance man. And when I went to the show, the guy's running all over the place, and it was crazy. And it was one of the few shows I've been to where they really sounded a whole lot like the album, which was nice. Because it sucks when you go to a show and somebody just sounds totally different. You're like Pro Tools, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, the dials on these are really pretty good. Some really interesting stuff, really interesting powers. Stuff where you hit somebody and then you heal yourself the damage they just took. That's pretty powerful.
Yes.
And if you're not really interested in Iron Maiden, another thing that could be helpful is the fact that these guys have generic keywords too that could help fill out some other teams. Plus they're kind of monstery looking, but not all of them are monsters. Only one of them is.
Really?
Yeah, only one character in this whole thing is monster. But you got Armor, Brute, Spy, Mystical, Deity. There's only one that's monster, and that's
Herald,
God Frontier.
What are the point costs about?
Pretty low. The highest is 175, but most of them are 50, 75. 50 and 75 is the most common you'll see out of that. So
it could be a good filler.
Yeah, and there's lots of Charge Blades Exploit on the very first click on one. Can't beat that.
No.
There's Cheap TK, there's Cheap Prob, there's Energy Explosion, Triple Target Mind Control.
Gross.
Yeah, it's all there. So, pretty cool stuff. And if you look at the cards and you are a fan, you'll notice there's a lot of song titles that are the powers and lyrics and stuff like that. Really cool, nice little nod.
Cool.
But anyway, I bought them all. I split a case with Bart, one of our guys, who we'll probably have on the show at some point.
Yeah.
He's a character, that's for sure. We love you, Bart. Yeah. So, but anyway, moving on, we were going to talk a little bit. We played a game a couple weeks ago now with the new pack, which is just getting ready to drop and become official.
Yeah. Drops with the new
2 days.
Superman set.
Yep.
Yeah, we
It's
played
2 days, really?
Wednesday.
Ooh.
Yeah, the first game we played was 2 versus 1. It was Jared and Paul versus me, and then it was 2 versus 2. Me and Jared versus Paul and Jeff. And, I mean, it was interesting.
The first game, we tried to play kind of a scenario of Batman versus Bat villains. None of the Bat villains are the dials, none of them are actually equipped to go up against the Batman figures. All of them suck.
That's why Batman always wins, man. He always wins.
Nobody even has a chance in that set.
Yeah.
In any of the...
Yeah, a lot of them don't have a move and attack. I think that was...
No move and attack.
A lot of
Most
them.
of them are range heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Croc was really the only
Yeah, he was
close
the only-
combat guy.
Yep. And he missed.
So...
I think our best figure was probably Scarecrow.
Yeah.
He has so many options with the smoke cloud, every single time.
Well, that and Hush,
Yes.
Yeah.
who could ignore Bat Ally.
Yes,
That was the
that
only
was
one.
helpful.
But, yeah. That one was a hard game to keep going
Yeah,
on.
I will say for me, it was a lot tighter than I'm used to with Gotham City because it used to be you could just stick your guys in the back and perplex, proud, outwit all day long.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm cutting that down by 4.
Yep.
So I had to bring
Yeah.
them much closer into the fray. It didn't really end up to where I had enough attackers that they didn't really get targeted too much,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely made me think a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So props to the pack on that for making a more interesting game, more competitive game.
Yeah.
But then the second match that we played, that one went on, man, we played for hours.
I think it was 5 hours.
That was a long game.
It went
All
on
right.
so far, too.
And part of it is that we don't know the rules.
We had to look a couple things up.
Yeah.
But everybody, let's go around and say what you played. So for the first team was the Marvel team. And that was Paul and Jeff playing.
Yes. So we had who did we have? We
You
had
had-
Hawkeye.
You had the X-Men.
Yes, I played X-Men. So I had Iceman from
The Tab app, right?
No,
from the X-Men
GSX.
set.
GSX.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has the X-Men team ability and Wildcard team ability.
That's right.
Iceman and
Jean Grey's Cyclops duo.
yes, we did. Yes, for the TK, they were very helpful with that.
And Wolverine.
Marvel Girl.
Yep.
As well for some
From
more
10th.
TK, and then the Tab app Wolverine, who has
Okay.
2 stop clicks.
Yeah.
He was
Traded toughness.
very good. Yeah. We would alpha strike him up there with the exploit and try and get him in the fray. And fortunately, he wasn't able to hit.
Yeah.
That was just rolls, though.
Yeah.
We should also note that we didn't play resources in the
Yes.
game
No.
at all.
Yes.
We did allow relics, and that did factor in pretty heavily.
You did?
Well, the
Yes.
bat signal.
Oh,
Bat
yeah,
signal.
Bat Signal.
Yes.
I forgot. That was us.
Yeah, it was us.
That was you.
That was me.
Yeah.
That's hands down one of the most useful relics in the
Mhm.
game, period.
I was going to say the most.
It's up there with the Gamma Bomb. I think the Gamma Bomb, you can't ignore that.
I still think it takes a back seat to Bat Signal.
You guys haven't had the pleasure of playing with the Gamma Bomb. That will change the
No.
entire flow of the game.
Yes, that's very true. But anyway, the other half of the Marvel team.
I tried out the new Captain America from the Fear Cell Star, or Scenario Pack.
Blitzkrieg. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Partnered with Captain America from Avengers movie, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hawkeye, always a good
Always
choice.
Hawkeye.
Always a good choice. And then, who was my last? Dr. Voodoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
I was actually expecting Brother Voodoo on that set,
Yes.
but it was
One with
the
the
other.
Doc. One with the Doc instead.
Yeah.
Doc, not a bro.
Yeah.
This guy's employed. Doc.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think if the new pack rules that affected us that much on our side.
Hawkeye had a huge benefit from the
Yes.
pack rules.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
From whenever he gets down to the knockout gas arrow clicks. Energy explosion.
Energy
and
explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw the energy explosion in effect for the first time.
The energy explosion with extra tokens too.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So they had a group of, I think, 3 grouped
Yeah.
together, maybe
Yeah.
4.
there were 3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
It was all Jared's guys.
It was all me.
all- yeah, all
all me.
Jared's guys.
I got hit pretty good.
So targeted 1, hit him for 3, and the 2 adjacents got hit for 3, and then everybody got tokens,
Yeah,
It was
that was
big.
gross.
Real big.
which was extra pushing damage
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so a lot of damage in one attack. A lot of damage.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's also worthy to note that we were playing on the Legion of Superheroes 2 versus 2 outdoor map.
Yes.
So it was a very big map.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there are any other 2 versus 2 maps like that. Maybe Grid Reality has some, but
Not that I've seen.
okay.
Yeah.
So for our side of the map, we had the DC side. I didn't really have a theme, but what did you play, Mitchell?
I play all Society. I like the Society a lot, and it's a very strong team under the new pack. I had Calculator from Arkham Asylum, who does +2, or perplexes +2 or -2 of any value, I think. for
He
power
has a-
action.
And he has a within range.
Yeah, I think it's just a
many-
+1
Yeah,
radius.
yeah, that's right. That's what it
Yes.
is. He does it to everybody within range. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Yeah. Every friendly.
Yeah. So he's pretty good. He's like 55 points or something. Has stealth on the first click, and that's really pretty much all he does. I also played Jinx because that's a very worthy addition to the
Yes.
society
Yes.
with Prob.
30-something points, prob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not bad.
39, I think.
Okay.
And then my two heavy hitters were Deathstroke from Streets of Gotham, who's becoming one of my favorite figures to play.
Yes.
Just awesome. And Silver Banshee.
From
who-
Superman.
From Superman, who is
Just a beast.
just an absolute monster under the new rules.
Yeah.
Really good.
Triple target and cap.
Triple target in cap is real big, and the way she does it, she deals damage equal to the number of action tokens on them. So now you can in cap. It's almost better to in cap than it is to use Repulse Wave because you can hit people for
A whole lot.
a lot, a lot. Because you'll hit them for 2, plus they get another damage due to in cap. New rules of in cap. So
If they're tokened out
if they're
already.
tokened
Yeah.
out, yeah.
So if they already have 2 tokens on them and you hit them, you do 3 damage. If they have 1 token on them and you hit them, they take a token. If they don't have willpower, they take a damage plus 2
And then another
damage.
2 damage.
If they have no tokens, they take 1 token and 1 damage.
Yes.
Right.
She's pretty gross.
She's real good. Deathstroke is an energy explosion guy with triple target. That didn't really come into play, but he's just good anyway.
Yeah, you guys didn't do much grouping at
No.
all, except for a little bit, but
Rooftop.
in a different place from where Deathstroke was.
There was
Yes.
one part where Deathstroke was about to get the hurt put on him, and I'm just like, Jared, get to the bat signal. Get him back. Get him
to the
back.
bat.
He's about to get hurt real bad.
So my team had no theme whatsoever. It was just people from DC, and it was only people I picked to use stuff that changed in the new pack, and one gimmicky guy that I played 2 of. So I played Poison Ivy from the Batman set, who has the mind control and doesn't take damage. Smoke Cloud. I played Blue Beetle from 10th Anniversary, the jumping over the mailbox Ted Cord, because it had triple target energy explosion and force blast.
Yes.
I played, just because I had a little extra space, I played a Gotham City detective
Oh, yes.
from
I forgot about him.
Arkham Asylum or
he mans the bat signal.
something, whose only job was to sit next to the bat signal. And, the Atom from the Blackest Night
Oh yeah.
as
Huge.
the medic.
Healing.
Yes.
Oh, healing all
The
game.
medic
Yes.
was a big deal. Game-changing effect on that one.
Game changer.
And then my 2 gimmicky characters, or the one character that I had 2 of, was Gizmo. One of my absolute new favorite pieces from the Teen Titans set. His big thing is that he has an ability, damage ability to. I'm sorry, take that back. He has a trait that says he can use a power action and bring a light object into the game from outside of the game and place it into an adjacent square. He has a attack power that says give him a free action, remove an adjacent standard object from the game. If the object was a light object, choose a attack power, and anybody within 4 squares can use that. Any friendly character within 4 squares can use that. If you remove a heavy object, you could choose a damage power, and any friendly within 4 squares gets to use that. When you have 5 guys all together destroy a heavy object to give perplex, that's a whole lot of perplex.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used it for that. I used it for TK a lot. Bring in a light object, free action, remove the object, give my entire team TK, move anybody anywhere
Yes,
that I want.
Anywhere.
Move objects from everywhere to anywhere else, move the bat signal from elevated terrain back to my starting area, and move the guy who was supposed to be manning the bat signal to the bat signal again.
Yeah.
So just wacky antics everywhere. And when you have two of them, since he doesn't have willpower or indomitable, you can do that every turn. So you can give an attack power every single
I should have
turn.
gave you my Harvey Dent so you had willpower.
I know, I thought about that. I thought about that. He was too many points. The Gotham City Detective could have been retired for it, but too many points.
And if you never got to do this, but he's not a bad attacker either. He
He's
has
really
Force
not.
Blast with 2 targets and a 10 attack with Sharpshooter. So if someone gets close to him, he can knock 2 figures away from him. You know, because Force Blast now, every attack, Force Blast activates.
Yeah.
And he's a calculator.
And he's a calculator, which didn't come too much into it. We did have one Mystic on our team.
Yeah. That helped.
That helped a bit, but
It did.
we didn't really take too much advantage of the wild card
Killed
ability.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the energy explosion. If you hit a group of mystics, you hit 3 mystics figures, you will take 3 damage.
Ooh.
Yep.
Wow.
Better
So
make it
you
count.
got to be careful.
You
when,
gotta really be hitting
the
hard
energy
for it.
explosion is good and bad, because if you hit a group of mystics,
You gotta know your
you're
dial.
gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to be aware of that.
Yikes.
So yeah,
It was a fun game.
it was a
It
fun
went
game.
real long. But I didn't.
We had a lot of, each team had a healer
Yeah.
or two,
Or 2, yes.
and we would basically get one figure down and bring them back to the healer and heal them back up, and then go back out and punch, and get healed again and healed again. And Silver Banshee probably was the recipient of support, probably 8 times?
Something like that.
Yeah, we must have killed her at least 5 times.
Yeah.
There was probably 20 or 30 clicks of damage dealt out
Yeah.
per match.
Eventually, I think we both just kind of decided, let's just
Yes.
end it. Let's kill each other. And
I didn't.
Yeah, you were just you were in 2 spots the whole game pretty much.
All I was doing was supporting your people. My guys were all injured. I didn't have one uninjured character.
Can't argue the results. Though,
And
right?
then-
That's true.
And then,
I was like, heal Silver Banshee. She needs healed.
so then every guy of mine got bumped back again,
Yeah.
and then Silver Banshee got hit for 1 damage, and you ran back crying for heals.
She needed it. She was on the bad click.
She had 1 damage.
Well,
She only went from an 11 to a 10.
really?
That was
it
it.
only click 2?
That was only click 2. Twice!
Can't argue the results. So.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's true. You were just playing the MMO healer. Just
I
sitting
was.
back
I was
there.
a heal bot.
Support. Okay.
It was good though.
It
So,
worked.
It was a good game.
I think a lot of what we kind of thought about earlier, which is that it is going to change the game a lot. It's going to slow the game down a lot for a while because everybody's kind of confused as to what's
Yes.
going to happen. But overall thoughts, good, bad, and different.
I mean, I love it. It's to me, the biggest one is Smoke Cloud. The extra 2 tokens, and now you put them in front of you, so now if they charge you, they're going to get -1 to their attack, as long as they don't have Smoke Cloud showing on their dial. I mean, Smoke Cloud got a huge, huge bump.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably the biggest. But the most noticeable one that we're all going to have trouble with is going to be the range for Outwit, Prob, and Perplex. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be a game-to-game
Oh,
forget.
yeah.
People are going to forget.
I think there's going to be a lot less outwitting
Yeah.
because if someone is 6 targets away from your attacker, that means they're probably 15 spaces away from the person you want to outwit them with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now they have to be on the front lines.
Except for
Yeah.
my boy, the boss of bosses, Darkseid, man. He's got an 11 range without wit, so
Oh,
he
well.
benefits.
Yeah. For the most part, people will probably either not use Outwit as much, or they'll be outwitting offensive powers a lot more. Because now you'll be charging or running shotting in, and then after you make the attack, then you'll go ahead and outwit something on their offensive dial.
Yeah.
I think that'll be happening a lot more.
Something that we didn't really get into that is going to take a big effect is the hypersonic
Yes.
breakaway.
Yes.
Well, the hypersonic plasticity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't mess with that at all.
Well, Iceman did. He had leap climb,
Mm.
and
That's right.
all he wanted to do was move. Well, actually, he wanted to use the special power of ice slide.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to go place
That's right.
2 hindering terrain markers adjacent to both your figures. And I was just going to go ahead and do it freely. And then I remembered, leap climb, you still have to break away. As long as I don't roll a 1. And I can't believe how nervous I was rolling that dice.
Yeah, man.
But, because I just assumed that there's no way I'm going to roll a 1. And luckily I didn't. But there's always that chance that if you do, that's it. Your turn, your base, and your turn's over.
And now you're sitting adjacent to 2 figures who are going to kill you.
Yeah.
The big hitters.
Deathstroke and Silver Banshee. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah. Those are probable that you can prob those rolls?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and I think you have a big point about the smoke cloud because it's now going to be viable to use it as an offense a lot more than it used to be.
Yes.
It used to be basically, I have a character who's not worth doing an attack with. I'll throw smoke cloud up so I can either get the +1 to defense versus range or stealth.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was it. Now, or very rarely, board control. You can place up hindering terrain to make somebody stop. But
Yes.
with Batman and everything
With the
else.
improved movement.
Improved movement,
It's-
leap, climb, flight,
Yep.
everything else, phasing, not having to stop with hindering makes that a lot less apt to do anything.
So now you almost want to just surround yourself in smoke, and then whoever comes to attack you is going to get a -1 attack.
Which we did in the Batman versus Bat Enemy
Yeah, we did.
game a lot.
Mhm.
We threw up smoke so that Batman or Bat ally person would have to,
If they charged in.
they'd have to take a -1 from
Yeah.
the smoke cloud.
Yeah, and what's the condition to ignore that? Is if you
They
possess
have,
Smoke Cloud,
yes.
or
If you have smoke cloud showing,
If you can use smoke cloud.
right, on your dial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on a special power
Or-
or whatever.
Okay.
It's if you can use. There's 2 words that really
So if you
are
have
the conflicting things. There's use and possess. Possess is actually having it on your dial, having the color, or when a special power says you possess this.
So like there's some figures that say after actions resolve you can use smoke cloud as a free action. Do those figures take the -1?
After the attack, you can use it as a free action. I would have to check the real rulings for it, but if I was making a ruling, I would say they could ignore it after their attack when they could use it.
Yeah.
Because at the time of the attack, they
don't
cannot use.
They don't have it.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
they don't possess it, and they don't have the ability to use it.
Right.
So.
Okay.
there it is.
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think your biggest change was?
I'm still sticking with the outwit perplex thing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot more. Action's going to happen a lot sooner. Because if you want to move up
Yeah, there is
to
no,
outwit somebody, you're moving up into charge and running shot range now.
Yeah.
no more just keeping your guys literally 10 squares in the back to prob your heavy hitters rolls.
Right.
Mitchell?
Yeah, I gotta agree. It's all about proud, perplex, outwit, all those free action moves that you would normally do. But I do think, even though we didn't see it because we didn't play figures with it, I think breakaway is gonna be big. Plasticity is gonna get a new lease on life. It's gonna make me think twice about playing, heavy hitting, hypersonic guys who don't have range.
Especially figures that have plasticity and poison on the same click.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those guys.
Yeah, a lot of those heavy hitters though, they tend to have like some reducer of some sort.
Yeah,
Sure. See, a lot of people are worried about the hypersonic and no range thing, but that only comes into effect when there's plasticity.
Right.
Where how it's now stated, hypersonic is you get to do an attack, either close or range attack, during your movement, before the end of the movement. Where plasticity, if somebody moves next to you, their movement must end immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
means that is not during your movement to make a close combat attack, you must end as soon as you're adjacent, which means
You don't even get to make the attack.
you don't get to make the attack at all.
Wow.
So
So you
say
can't
the
even
flash,
charge him, right?
the charge you can, because charges move half your range, or move half your movement, then make an attack. How hypersonic is worded, it is before the end of your movement, make an attack. So, move, attack, move.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though, because hypersonic was
Overpowered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty OP.
I mean, the first person that comes to mind with the new powers is the Flash, because he
Yeah.
hardly ever has any reducers.
Yeah.
And
So
has no
he's-
range.
Right, so he's hypersonicking in, and somebody has plasticity and poison. Bam.
He's
a lot of the new Flashes, though, tend to have the ignore characters,
I've noticed that.
which is good because I don't think the Flash should be stopped
Right.
by something like that, with rare exception.
Yeah.
Um,
There are some plasticity figures that should be able to hold anyone,
Mhm.
at least for a time.
yeah, I mean, for me, this means like Black Adam has to kill what he comes in contact with,
Yeah.
which is usually not a problem.
I was gonna say.
But it's cool because it adds another layer of complexity and it brings things in a lot tighter, a lot closer,
Yeah.
and that can be nothing but good. So.
But the other thing that a lot of people are overlooking is that plasticity, which usually adds or subtracts 2 from your breakaway roll, hypersonic adds 2 to your breakaway roll. If they don't have plasticity, you only need to break away with a 1, or you fail breakaway with a 1, just like you were talking about with Iceman.
Right.
With plasticity and hypersonic, or plasticity versus hypersonic, you're breaking away normal.
Right.
If the hypersonic person has plasticity as well, they're at a 5 or a 2 through 6 breakaway again, so they're fine.
Right. Fantastic.
So with the new pink powers, what do we think is the best? What do you think is going to be the best pink power?
Off the top of my head, I'd say sidestep.
Yeah.
I'm going to assure you that Gizmo is going to bring precision strike over and over again.
Yes.
You could have this time.
I could have, but they were never in range for actually attacking.
Yeah.
They were always in the supporting, part of the game.
Yeah.
Supporting in
That precision,
action and power too.
that precision strike, I knew that it could be evaded and damage can be reduced below 1, but I did not know it could not be transferred either.
Yep. So no mind or no mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
That'd
be
be
gross.
good. I think Invincible will be really good. I mean, because people are going to have to start, when you hit somebody with an object, you think you're going to hit them for 7. No, you're going to hit them for 3.
Yeah,
4.
everybody's going to have to keep a chart,
half.
though.
It's always
because-
rounded up.
Is that right?
Damage is always, or when you have a half, it's always rounded up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you hit them for...
If you hit them for an odd number, it's always over half.
There's
Right.
a chart floating around out there because the first couple are kind of weird. Like, they don't necessarily damage how you think they would.
When you hit somebody with invincible for 1, they take 1. When you hit them for 2, they take 1. When you hit them for 3, they take 2. Hit them for 4, they take 2. 5 is 3. 6 is 3. So on and so forth.
So if you hit them for 7, it says half the damage dealt is ignored. So half of 7 is 3.5. You round up 4. So 4
Half is ignored.
So 4 of it is being ignored. So you're only doing 3.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
It begins.
I don't remember. Crap.
Yeah, because
I'll
it
have
says
to look at it.
half the damage dealt is ignored, and you round up. So half of 7 is 3.5.
No, that's right.
Hopefully in the
Because
rule
it's-
book they have the chart in there.
They probably won't.
Probably not, but hey, maybe you can draw on
That's
it.
right, because it's the same as toughness at 1 damage.
Mhm.
So you are correct.
Yep.
I
Yes.
take back everything I
think-
was just saying.
Yeah, I think we'll find out on Wednesday when the starter comes out for Superman.
Yeah, man.
I'll have Invincible.
I'll be there.
At least in 1 click.
So that'll be
Yeah,
fun to
but
hit
yeah,
him.
he has to have at least 1 click.
Yeah. So I probably will too.
Yeah.
But yeah, sidestep is going to be another big one too.
Yeah.
I think the only underwhelming power for me is empower.
Yeah,
I don't really see that as
they probably could have just buffed enhancement to do both.
yeah.
You know.
It almost seems like well, we gotta find a damage power. What can we do? How about this?
Right. Whatever. But
Sidestep. So if you hypersonic in, say someone has sidestep, and you're hypersonic in someone with plasticity, you can use that free action sidestep and move away.
breakaway. You have to roll breakaway.
Does it say place?
No. It's roll breakaway. But the thing is, you can't sidestep during the middle of hypersonic.
Well, it's a free action.
It's a free action, but when are you talking about actually doing sidestep?
Well, yeah, I guess a lot of figures probably won't have sidestep and because it's speed power.
Right.
Yes.
So
if you hypersonic in and get stopped because of plasticity, you still won't be able to make your close combat attack.
mm-hmm.
But you can sidestep after the action resolves.
Yeah.
Because you can't make an action. It's like saying, can you outwit in the middle of a hypersonic move?
Yeah.
Right.
You can't. You have to wait until your first action is done before you take a second action.
Yeah.
Whether it's free or not.
I'm still hopeful that the fabled Streets of Gotham Batman ATAs, if they ever happen, we see like a Bat Family one that's like, can you sidestep?
Yeah.
That would be really
Because,
strong.
Bat Family isn't
They need more help.
competitive
right?
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just thinking,
Well,
that would
Bat
make
Family.
sense. Bat Family's not Gotham City.
That's true.
Bat Family's a much more narrow category.
Okay. No Dark Knight Rises. Got it.
None.
Yeah, that could be cool. If it was an expensive ATA.
Yeah.
It'd
It'd
have to be pretty.
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite League of Assassins, so it doesn't need to be 8, but...
Or Marvel Knights 10.
Right.
Is that really what it is?
For stealth, yeah.
That's steep.
That needs
Yeah.
to be looked at.
Yeah. I don't know if anything will ever happen with that, but
No.
yeah, that's pretty steep.
Yeah, I think sidestep is going to be, because people are going to forget. You're going to see a figure that has charge or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to see this. It also has sidestep if a figure does, and you're not going to realize, oh, you think you're out of range. Beginning my turn, move two squares closer.
Right.
Now I can charge you,
Or
or just range for shooting. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you think somebody's locked down in hindering terrain, sidestep is a locked
Oh, yeah.
2 movement,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't cut it in half when moving out
Yeah.
of hindering.
Right.
So
Get a free out of hindering card.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
It can be used with a whole lot of fun circumstances.
I'm thinking running shot. Like after that, then you just tuck yourself into hindering.
Oh, that
You
would
know.
be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or around a corner.
Yep.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
2 steps around a corner.
And I cannot help but think, almost like a cartoon, like goose stepping almost. Like,
Yeah.
like off to the side, step, like twinkle toes off there. But yeah.
Yeah. Sidestep might become the new flurry as far as a lot of figures that have charge flurry.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to see running shot sidestep. I mean,
I hope.
that would be
Charge flurry sidestep. After you beat the crap out of somebody, you just move off to the
yeah,
side.
that'd be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
I mean, it's going to be a smaller charge sidestep is going to be a small version of hypersonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get in, make your attack, get just out of
Good.
melee
Yeah,
range.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Let's just put it that way.
excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Gizmo's going to do all sorts of crazy stuff with pink powers.
Right. I'm excited though too, because hey, if you have Battle Fury and Precision Strike, suddenly shape-changing super senses are of no consequence to you.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And super strength, which obviously we already forgot,
Mhm.
which is probably going to happen a lot. Picking up objects, placing them where you need them to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually used that in the game that we played.
Yeah.
We did.
Somebody had,
It's Bucky. Bucky Cap from Blitzkrieg.
he picked something up.
And then dropped it for
The Doc.
Hawkeye or Doc?
Oh yeah, no, it was
I think it was Hawkeye.
Up on the belt.
Dropped it for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To put him in stealth.
Sick.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Just sick.
And online I saw the strategy of if you're already holding an object, let's say Superman, Batman, Superman's already holding an object, you run out, you drop the object, you drop Batman on top of the object, suddenly he's stealth. So you got a mobile, roving stealth machine in the form of Superman.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have running shot or something to have him do something besides that, but pretty cool. Pretty useful
It
if
is
you do
cool.
that.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Very cool. Well, I think we have anything else? Is that all we got?
I think that might be it for.
So out of Teen Titans that is now
Oh.
over with, who's your favorite? One of your top guy. We know.
Done.
We know
Gizmo.
yeah.
Start with you. Let's go around.
Well, I think Rose Wilson. I mean, she's just solid.
She's a monster.
Running shot, 11 penetrating with perplex. I mean, she's just awesome. The one piece I haven't played yet is Ravager, not the Deathstroke's. Who is he? His dad or something? I don't even know.
It's his son.
Okay,
That died.
not that one, but
R.I.P.
the chick version.
Right.
Ravager.
The LE.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you win her?
I have her.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to play her
She
because
looks
I
great.
cannot wait. The flurry blades with prob.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with an 11 attack. I'm very excited to play her for only 80 points.
Wow.
Just need a little bit of TK to help her out,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and she'll be good to play. The girl who has not Rose Wilson, the other one that has the attack power that you can. It's almost like a scorpion.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Wonder
Not Wonder Woman.
Girl.
Wonder Girl.
Yeah.
She was very
Cassie.
good. I was surprised how good she was.
Really.
When I saw that she didn't have movement attack, I was a little worried. But then I hit that special power.
It catches people off guard.
Yes, absolutely.
Two attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him in, hit him again.
The lasso is a special object in the OP kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, so you'll be able to attach that to her later.
Yes.
for free.
For free, yeah.
For free.
Yeah, so I shouldn't below.
So she can
Give her some
heal
steel
up
energy.
after that first attack.
That's going to be a pretty good piece. The only thing that she has against her is that Coming Darkness trait.
Yeah,
Um,
adjacent to Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But when she does her second token, when she does her second attack, she also has Quake.
Yeah.
So she can pull somebody in and then quake them away.
Yeah.
So she doesn't
Which-
necessarily have to take that quake.
Rolling back a little bit, Quake is now something where you don't even have to damage somebody.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they
You still have to-
changed that.
You have to hit them.
You still have to hit
You
them,
don't have to damage them.
but if they have, any of the damage reducers, they will still, if they have toughness and it's reduced to 1 damage, you still knock back 2.
But you
It's
don't
not-
even have to damage them, though, right?
You don't have to damage
Yeah.
them.
No.
So if they have impervious or invulnerable or whatever,
Well, if they roll for impervious and roll 5 or 6,
you still hit them.
you still hit them.
Damage is reduced to 0,
Oh yeah.
but you still hit them.
Okay.
So they still take the knockback.
Yep. So as long as you hit them, it's a free knockback.
As long as they don't have combat reflexes or charge. That's going to become a much more...
Oh yeah.
Like, that is something that I totally just overlooked in the pack for so long.
Yeah.
That if you have charge or combat reflexes, you ignore knockback damage.
Mhm.
So with Force Blast being so much more prominent,
Well, I think they changed that too. They changed the combat reflexes because that used to say you may be knocked
Yeah.
back. You don't
still
take the
would
damage, but you may be. Now it just
Yeah.
says ignore,
Yeah.
flat out. They
Which
changed-
can be bad, too.
Yes. Because sometimes
Sometimes you want to be
if
away.
somebody flurries you
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I'm
gonna
outta
choose
here.
to fly backwards now.
And that's another thing they changed. Flurry.
Yeah.
That used to be you flurry somebody, you say they have mystics, you hit them, you take the mystics damage off, you lost flurry. No, not anymore. Now you finish
the
power.
action. Mm-hmm.
I assume the way that works then is if you have steel energy as well, you still
Yeah.
stay in
Same
the same
thing.
click, and then you
Yeah.
heal up afterwards.
Right.
So you
I'm
could heal
not
twice.
I'm not sure if you change clicks right away and you finish the power, or if you...
Does it stack?
I don't know.
Like
That's a good question.
click
That's
twice
something we might have to
after
check
you-
through the realms for, because
Yeah. It'll come up.
you finish the action
Dracula
as if
has
you...
that.
What's that?
I mean,
Yeah.
Dracula has that.
Yeah.
Flurry, still energy.
Because you
So-
finish the action as if you don't lose the power.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's because you don't you don't turn your dial until after the power's done, or
Yeah,
what.
because you could turn your dial and you had a 10 attack and you turn the dial, now you have 11 attack.
Gets better and
You
better.
know,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have to look that up.
it's a good question.
So, what about you, Jeff? What's your favorite Teen Titans?
I gotta go with the whole Nowhere squad. I love them. I've acquired all of them now throughout our numerous drafts. Yeah, I'm really liking them.
Yeah,
that was
Nowhere.
not one that I was excited about until seeing half the pieces.
Yes.
Bunch of Nowhere soldiers with what's his face? Harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Omen.
Yeah, Omen. Rose Wilson. Again.
Yeah.
Some
Leash.
strong people in there.
Yeah.
Leash, yes. That was my plan against Kyle on Friday. It worked.
Yeah.
To perfection.
I was pretty happy to get Superboy Prime. I don't know how much I'll actually play him, especially because he doesn't have the Semester Core keyword. But that's kind of a high point one. If I was saying more useful, man, I hate to be redundant, but man, Deathstroke is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you push them.
Yeah. Just gets better. One of those rare cases.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the crazy combinations that come out of this set with Bunker, with Gizmo, with Red Tornado was another one that kind of got overlooked.
Kid Flash. The double power action. Put them anywhere you want on the map.
Yeah.
Adjacent to a figure.
Also, we didn't really talk about it, but Gizmo with Cyborg Superman is going to be nuts.
Yup.
Gizmo producing objects, Cyborg Superman destroying them to heal.
Well, I didn't really talk about my team because I wanted to
wait.
No.
Am I screwing it up?
No.
Okay.
When we played for the Batcave and you played Justice League, I never played you.
Yeah.
But I ended up taking. What did I take? Second?
Yeah.
I took second with my team. I played Gizmo and Cyborg from Teen Titans. And a couple supporty pieces, which I found out later didn't actually work because researchers need the scientist keyword to actually use enhancement. And Cyborg didn't have the enhancement, but I was playing Cyborg and Gizmo, and the biggest part about Gizmo was he was throwing down objects that Cyborg could see through.
Right.
So, Cyborg having 3 objects or 5 objects or whatever to see through now has as many as he needs.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It was real big. And there's some real fun stuff in this set. Again, this is a set that I think people really weren't looking forward to, but now that it's out, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
Wasn't at all. Go back 2 episodes and I probably said I could care less about this set.
Yeah.
And it's really balanced for sealed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really was.
I don't think it'll be balanced for sealed with Fear itself.
No.
I mean, I don't think, but a full Teen Titans sealed is a very balanced sealed tournament.
Actually, if you had the option though, like in our venue, we are going to be short on the Fear Itself boosters, like we said, so we're going to have to choose a booster, and we're not sure if it's going to be everybody chooses the same one, or if it's, free for all. But Teen Titans has some pretty good support that would be real good to put in your Fear Itself booster.
I mean, Fear itself is going to have a whole lot of heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have a whole lot of the power pieces. And you might end up just having, I mean, if you just played Fear itself, you might have, 50, 70 points that you can't fill.
Yeah.
Because of expensive pieces.
Yeah.
Where Teen Titans has a lot of cheap end stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be good filler. I mean, just of that filler.
Yeah. Or they may make us all play Hulk. We don't know.
Which, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
That has a lot of filler too.
Yeah.
Pull out the beekeepers.
Or they can say, hey, everybody, indie clicks. Everybody,
Ugh.
what is Origin?
Origin.
Yeah,
That's not
That's
bad.
fine, yeah. But anyway, good times. Alright, well,
That about wraps us up.
that's gonna do it for us, folks. We shared some laughs. We laughed, we cried.
We did cry.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Thanks, Justice League. Okay, guys, well, it's time for the end of the show, which means it's time for me to do my usual spiel. You can email us, and if you do so, email us at show@feedbackdamage.com. If you're on Facebook, find us at facebook.com/feedbackdamage. If you're on the Twitter, go to feedbackdamage, @feedbackdamage. I'm sorry.
Come on.
If you're like me and you're constantly on YouTube, go to youtube.com/feedback damage show. And if you're on the web in general, check us out at feedbackdamage.com. Boys, what do you want to say? How are we going to end this out? Say it. First thing. Whatever comes off the tongue. Do it. Go. We're on the table right now.
More Omen.
Last Omen.
Gizmo!
Good night.